I'm from Sri Lanka. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a Buddhist. Now, and this is my first time sharing something online, especially a story like this. It's about the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, back when I was in high school. I've wanted to write it down for years, but every time I tried, something got in the way. Here it goes. This happened when I was in grade 10 or 11. My younger brother and I shared a bed back then. He was in grade 6 or 7. Before I get into it, let me paint the picture. Our room faced the main Colombo Kandy Road. The bed was shoved into a corner, headboard against the wall. At the foot of the bed, there was a tiny gap, maybe 2 feet. Between us and a wardrobe pressed tight against the wall, on the other side was the door to the room. Right by the door sat an old iron table with one short leg, so if you bumped it, it'd de-wobble and make a loud dada sound because it couldn't stay steady. Okay, here's where it starts. That night, my brother and I climbed into bed around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I couldn't sleep. It was hot and sticky and I was restless. My brother, though, seemed to nod off fast. Through the curtain on our door, I could see the living room light still glowing. About 30 minutes after we got in bed, my mom, dad, and sisters turned off the lights and went to sleep too. I shut my eyes, but sleep wouldn't come. The heat, the sweat. It was brutal. I tried so hard to doze off, but no. Hours dragged by, maybe 2 or 3. I was still awake. By then, the road outside was completely quiet. Not a single car passing. Then, out of the blue, I heard it. Footsteps inside the house. Slow, steady steps. Like someone in shoes walking on the tiled floor coming from the living room toward our room. No hurry, just calm and getting louder, closer. My heart pounded. The sound stopped right at our door. I kept my eyes squeezed shut, too terrified to look, and pulled the sheet over my head like it'd protect me. For a bit, it was dead silent. Then all of a sudden, the table in our room went dadas. Like something bumped it. I knew someone was there. Forget the heat. I was sweating from pure fear, shaking under the sheet. I wanted to peek, but I was petrified. Finally, I couldn't stand it. Acting like I was asleep, I slid the sheet down and cracked my eyes open just a bit. I couldn't believe it. A man was sitting on the table. He looked like he was dressed for a job interview. Long pants, a tucked-in long-sleeve shirt. His hair was kind of long, brushing his shoulders. With my eyes half open, I couldn't make out his face clearly, but there he was. One leg up on a chair, the other on the floor, hand on his hip, staring at our bed. I wanted to yell, but my voice was gone. I tried over and over. Nothing came out. I couldn't even turn to my brother. My body felt like a rock. Panicking, I shut my eyes again and yanked the sheet back over my head. I was trembling now, scared out of my mind. Minutes passed. Maybe more, and I didn't hear a sound. My brother shifted in his sleep next to me, but that was it. I had to check again, still pretending to be out cold. I eased the sheet down and peeked at the table. He was gone. I felt a flicker of relief, but then thought, where did he go? I lowered the sheet more and glanced at the wardrobe by our feet. There he was, standing right at the edge of the bed, looking down at us. Tall, maybe 6 feet, dressed sharp like before. The wardrobe was 6 feet too, and he matched its height perfectly. Sweat drenched me, but I felt ice cold, stuck in place. My brother kept tossing around, clueless. I couldn't even nudge him. My arm wouldn't move. Desperate, I squeezed my eyes shut again, thinking, whatever happens, let it be. After a while, I forced myself to look. I tilted my head down, cracked my eyes, and checked the foot of the bed. He wasn't there. No sounds anywhere. I glanced at the table. Empty. My heart lightened a bit. Whoever he was, he's gone, I thought. Feeling safer, I fixed my pillow and looked up. That's when I saw something I'll never forget. Ever. Typing this now, my hands are shaking, my ears feel frozen. I told you our bed was right against the wall, with maybe an inch of space behind it. Nobody could fit there. But when I looked up, there he was. It's the same long-haired guy perched on the headboard, leaning over me, his face so close to mine there couldn't have been more than a foot between us. That's all I remember. I think I blacked out. Next thing I knew, it was morning. My brother wasn't beside me. Still in bed, I tried to figure it out. What happened last night? Dream or real? I was dead sure it was real, but I tried telling myself it was a nightmare to calm down. My head throbbed and I felt feverish. Groggy, I stumbled out of bed and into the living room. It was empty, but I heard my mom and brother chatting in the kitchen. I went to tell my mom what I'd seen, still half convincing myself it was fake. But what I heard in there turned my shaky fever into full-blown chills. My brother was telling my mom, last night some guy came into our room. He was by the table first. Then he went over to Aya's side and leaned right over his face. I shut my eyes. I was terrified. When I looked again, he was by the wardrobe. I turned away, too scared to scream, though I tried. Later I peeked, and he was on the bed, leaning over Aya's face, staring at him.
How?
I clamped my eyes shut and must have passed out. For a whole month after, we played Buddhist Pirith chants in our room nonstop. Nothing weird happened again. But get this, before that night, my older sister had told us something too. She said one afternoon while napping, someone grabbed her hair and pulled her off the bed, telling her to get down. We laughed, thinking she was joking. After this, though, we weren't so sure. Some might believe this is true. Others might say it's nonsense. Up to you. But I've still got questions that haunt me. How did he lean over me like that without falling? How could anyone fit in that tiny space behind the bed? What was that? For a long time after, I was terrified to sleep. Every time I climbed into bed, I'd lie there, heart racing, scared I'd see that man again, staring down at me in the dark.